maintain that list and work it like you're supposed to, and keep it updated with your membership committee, you'll do fine and actually will grow with good members. So the things to remember about this list that we are using, it needs periodic adjustments and it's maintained by the membership committee. The best tool for using this list is Google Docs. So using Google Sheets and opening it up to other folks on that membership committee, so then they can edit it, add, myself and our membership chair, we will go invite them to our club, present them with a personal invitation and a personal cover letter to send it. So something that you could present to them, a new member packet, well, not new member packet, but a prospective member packet might be something like this. It has materials that would be attractive to them for their club, for our club. So just an assortment of stuff that you've seen. I'm sure you've all seen it. And then talk to them, invite them. What we do in Hinesville is we want them to attend 3 meetings. So in that vetting process, it allows the members to sort of vet them. So after the membership committee's vetted them and worked on that list, then the members get a chance to vet them after that. So you can identify maybe a prospect that you might not want, essentially is what I'm saying. So after those 3 meetings, we have a fireside chat. Then they can ask questions and maybe vet themselves a little bit. Is Rotary for me? So if they're still interested after that, an application, a vote, and an induction, if all goes well. But after that, the vetting process for us isn't over yet. It's a red badge program is what we have in place. So I don't know if you're familiar with it. Are you doing red badge? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Shannon's got some, I don't want to steal Shannon's thunder, but Shannon's got some information on red badge, but that's another process you can use to vet folks that are in the club, your new members that you may not be confirmed for regular membership just yet outside of that red badge and into a blue badge, so to speak. But that's kind of what we're doing, and it all comes back to that list for us and just working that list and folks that you want to see in your club in the next 5 years. So I think that's pretty much the gist of my message.
Okay, so questions for Jack. Keep in mind, one of the goals that we talked about last time for residential citation was the 5-year plan. This is one club and what they're doing to establish and help that 5-year plan and that, I'm sorry, not one of, yeah, it is one of the goals, the 5-year plan. Are there any questions for Jack about what they're doing with their 5-year plan and the club?
How big's your committee?
It's the membership committee, which is myself, membership chair, and I believe 2 others on that committee.
And you're president?
I'm the president, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who gets the job of telling the red badge person, okay, we decided not to take you?
Yes.
Okay.
So isn't it kind of a situation in your club that in the event that it got to that point, you would kind of work with the sponsor to kind of...
And that is where the sponsor comes in and can help a lot with that. And there's, I wouldn't say, you hate to use the word excuses, but there's sometimes you can have a fallback or an alibi. Sometimes you have if your club falls model of, certain occupations are represented by the classifications. So if your classification is, if that classification may be overrepresented in that club, you could say, well, we're a little heavy on certain occupations.
How many times have you done that?
In 28 days, I haven't done it.
How about the year before?
I've
You've done it previously? Like someone attended 3 meetings and you actually did reject them?
I remember since I've been a part of the Hinesville Rotary Club, I've been remembered 1 time, and that's been 7 years.
This is actually that I'm borrowing at the moment. But what we have is a letter that is personalized, but not really. It's a generic, but it has their name. It's something you can personalize and give them. If you get something in the mail that says, it doesn't have your name on it, but it says, come purchase this or do that, you're going to throw it away. But if you can personalize it and make it to where it looks like it is intended for them personally, then you should have pretty good
And you
success.
deliver this
We
in
will.
person?
Yes, sir.
Okay, moving along. Next speaker, Shannon. Shannon's going to talk about her club as well as the Reg Badge, the orientation, and the fireside chat, as well as the differences between them.
Well, I think it's dangerous to give a school as a meeting, a more of a small group, one-on-one session between the sponsor, somebody on the membership committee, and the potential Rotarian. That is someplace where the person can ask questions. It's more one-on-one. People are free to express thoughts and feelings. That is what the fireside chat is for. I'm going to tell you what not to do. This is a cautionary tale. This is what happened with me. Hi, fill out this piece of paper. I'm going to turn it in for you. What is this piece of paper? Don't worry about it. It was a membership application for Rotary. Okay, and it was, okay, you need to come to this meeting. Okay, it's lunch. I'll make sure you have lunch. It's induction into the club. Okay, next week. Oh, we need an executive secretary for our club. You're going to do it for us. I didn't have any idea what Rotary was. I didn't have any idea what the principles were, what the club stood for. I knew it was community service because I had done a little bit of research. But that's what it was. And within a month, I was about to quit and leave Rotary forever. Because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any resources or support. Now, I'm going to tell you, Hinesville Rotary Club has come a long way in 7 years. These things are in place to prevent that from happening. I fell in love with Rotary, and it was because of my students. It's because I decided that I was going to support an Interact Club. And it was through that Interact Club that I learned all about Rotary. It wasn't the other way around. You guys do not do that to your new members. Do not throw them into the deep end and say, sink or swim. That is a mistake to do. The fireside chat is the first opportunity you have to really impart the knowledge in what Rotary truly is. Service above self. It's about relationships. It's about helping others who are less fortunate than us. It's about helping our local people. It's about helping those in international. It is our job as Rotarians to make sure that people know what they're getting into, know what their organization stands for. Now, after they become members, that is where the Red Badge program and the orientation come into play. First, you need to do the Red Badge. I highly recommend the Red Badge. Obviously, I did not have a Red Badge. I'm going to tell you, it took me 3 years to understand what the Rotary Foundation was. It shouldn't take your new members 3 years to figure out what the Rotary Foundation is. I'm still learning things that I probably should have learned in the orientation. Now, the orientation, that is where you tell all about the Rotary Foundation, all about the international programs, all about domestic programs, the ins and outs, what a district assembly is, what a district conference is, the inner workings, who is who. That's where the orientation comes. That's the imparting of all the logistical data. The Red Badge program, here's what's one of probably the best things you can do for retention of new members, is that Red Badge program. That is where we in the Hinesville Club give a list. Here are the requirements to get out of the Red Badge. It is literally a red badge. Where we have, I don't know what every club does, but Hinesville Rotary Clubs, we have our black badges, they're blue. The ring around them are blue. And our names are in the middle. The red badge, they're bright red. It stands out. It does twofold. It helps the current members know who the new people are so that we can make sure they're being engaged actively, that they're not sitting off a table, because we know we're creatures of habits. I've heard some other people joke about it today, that we do that small group already because we always sit at the same table. No. The red badge, you need to see the person, recognize that they're a brand new person or have been a short-term member of the Rotary Club, and engage them. Come sit at our table. Come meet with us. Make sure that you're involved in this next project. The next part of the program is they have to accomplish certain, go to a certain type of foundation meeting. They have to go to some sort of district event. You get to decide as a club what the requirements are. You have to attend 3 out of 4 meetings in a month, those kind of things. And it helps you get engagement and capture that person forever. Because if you don't capture their heart for Rotary, it's something that they'll dwindle out of. We want to retain our members and bring in new members.
4.5.
4.5. But that's what the Red Badge for. I think, and it's probably true in a lot of organizations, we don't do a good enough training program for our participants. If you train them, and that's what the Red Badge program is to train them. If we do a good enough training them, you're going to have high quality members who are engaged. How many times do we go to a service project and, even in the Hinesville Club, which is a phenomenal club, How many times are there 3 or 4 people who are doing all the work? You know, a good solid red badge program, a good solid orientation, a good solid fireside chat program is going to help capture the correct members for your club who are engaged and will participate and perpetuate that forward.
Okay, thank you, Shannon. Questions for Shannon, briefly?
Okay. Well, I'm just going to relay some experience and some, hopefully, some thoughts about how you approach that. Our club decided about a couple of years ago that we would have a membership drive. We thought we just needed to work on that, and our membership chair said, "Well, let's do this campaign where we just get competition. We got teams set up, and we'll just have them compete against each other." We had about 6 teams, I think, and it turned out to be enormously successful, but it was all within 1 month. Well, I want you to think about that. And so we had these people that were interested and coming in, and the whole question became, well, you know, how are we going to engage them and retain them? And we didn't have particularly a good plan for that, I think. And the question there became, well, since we didn't really have a way to cover that, we lost some of these people that we brought in. It didn't take too long. So one thing to think about from the beginning is that if you are going to focus on membership, and I think you probably should focus on membership all the time, but every member should own that particular responsibility because you've got to think about a replacement, you've got to think about continuing the Rotary volunteer tradition. So if you do it all at once, you don't have people assigned. So my preference would be to have something that's over a longer period of time, so you can allow time for people to really meet different members in the club and form friendships. I think people come to Rotary probably for maybe 2 major reasons. One is the friends that you form there, and the other is service, and people are drawn predominantly because of that. And you want to help them to identify their passion and match that up. Anyway, that's the main thing that I wanted to say. Some people may have some different experiences. I suppose, you know, and just linking the idea about fireside chat, if you had a group of people, you could you know, lump them together that way. But I don't think it would have the kind of individual friendship thing, which is really, I think, very important.
So do we have any questions for Tom?
Can I ask a question, Tom? You mentioned you didn't like, you got a lot of results by doing the
We
challenge
did.
and
Yes.
and now you're talking about you prefer to spread it out. You had a process for
Yes.
the 1 month challenge.
Right.
Do you have a process for the spreading it out and still getting the motivation? Because frankly, for me, it's somebody sparking me to think, okay, just think who I'd want to ask. It takes 5 minutes every week to just think, and I don't have that stimulus all the time. Do you guys have that? Did you find a way to do it?
Well, to keep it going is a challenge. I don't think we have a good way right now to do that, and I think that's one thing that you might criticize by trying to lengthen it out. We remind members, you know, periodically that it's important, and please be on the lookout for people that you think are, you know, leader doers who would be good candidates. But that is the advantage of having a time set aside when everybody's working on it.
But you did find somebody who was good at least doing it over.
Some reference to an incentive that District Governor Margaret has challenged or provided us with this year. We are going to incentivize our membership growth as well as retention. The district will have 2 Paul Harrises that will be up and to be awarded. One will go to a club with the person that obviously recruits and brings the most folks in, and the other one will be tied to retention. We are working out the detail. As soon as we have that, we'll share that, but I did want to share that. So as far as incentivizing and growing memberships, taking care of new members, that's something for you all to be aware of, okay? So moving on to Nancy. Nancy, welcome.
Thank you.
So you missed it for just a minute when I was saying that these are our clubs that have grown and that have done the good job, and you were invited to participate. So thank you for coming. This is Nancy. She's from Jefferson County, and the floor is yours. And you're going to talk about mixers and how you tie that in with new members, taking care of them, being happy, and all that. Yeah. Go. Socialist mixers. Good. You. We talked about this. Social, yeah, yes, yeah. Yes, correct.
Yeah, our club is small. We have 23 members, and we haven't had social events. And as a new president, that was one of the things that we were going to start doing. And we have one already set up. We are going to a local restaurant August the 9th. That'll be our first social. And we already have that scheduled. We have one scheduled for the fall. We're having an oyster roast. The one that we have scheduled for August. And then we have, of course, our Christmas will be in December. We do the white elephant. And we're going to make that a family event also. And then I thought maybe in February we have another one. I haven't actually planned out what that one's going to be, but I'm trying to do one maybe every couple of months is what I've kind of got on the schedule. So, but I'm trying to do something as a social event every couple of months, just to try to, try to get the whole family involved and the spouses involved. My clubs kind of got stale. We're like all the other clubs. We come in and we sit on one side, same one sit on one side, same one sit on the other side. And it's become more of a dinner club. And I wanted to change that up, and I've also brought forth the idea of, instead of just meeting for lunch, changing it up and maybe having a breakfast meeting sometimes, or even a afternoon meeting after work sometimes, and they welcome that idea too. So we're trying to change some things up and see if any of these ideas would work. I've only been president just a couple of weeks, so we'll see how it works. But they're open to the idea, so we'll see.
Okay. Questions for Nancy?
Not a question, but
Comments?
idea I've been inviting prospects to our parties.
We're going to do that too. We also have brought that up too. We have had since I've been president, we've had 2 new members come in, and I don't think it really had anything to do with me. I just think that it was just timing. So and they're all fairly young, so we're very hopeful.
Those are the ones you want.
That's exactly right. So I'm excited.
Nancy, I got a question for you. When you say it's timing, there's somebody that brought those folks in. So, and you all have been succeeding. Do you find in some clubs, 10% of the people bring in 80%? I looked in our club, and it was the first time that somebody had actually looked. Everybody kept saying, well, 20% bring in 80%. No, it's 50% bring in 80% in my club, which was a surprise.
Well, I don't like to take any credit for anything, but we've been trying to put a lot of stuff on Facebook, and one thing that I've been telling them, y'all, we've got to get ourselves out in public. We've got T-shirts. We've got to let people know that we're out there. I think if people know that we're out there, people will want to come to our meetings. people want to come and join us. They'll want to come and help us get out and help us go to the food pantry, help us, we have a, it's called the Service Center, it's for special needs. It's, a center for special needs that we go out there and we, do a little party with them every 3 months, do a social with them actually. And, they also, we do a prom with them, once a year. But, I said, you know, people will come and want to help us, that might be it, you know, maybe they're seeing us out there and they want to be a part of it.
And I want to piggyback on what, if you see me sitting down here holding my phone, I was doing the same thing with Tom and the presidents that are here. Some of you, I've had a conversation with about this. Social media. Mike talked about social media and reaching the millennials. I'm Facebook Living right now. I'm Facebook streaming this on our district webpage. Now, granted, it's all of us that are seeing this, but are you a Facebook person? Are you on social media? Are you on Instagram? Are you on Twitter? This is a free way to get marketing, to get the word out about what we're doing. When you're getting to your meetings, ask your people to take their phones out and check in that they're there. Ask them to broadcast the speaker. Ask them to share the information about who's there. Ask them to post a fun picture. Again, it's free. It's free, and it gets the word out in your community. And then ask people to share things. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Question on that, should you ask someone to do that doesn't tend to wave their hands around?
I don't know. Okay.
Because I
Thank
saw
you.
that going, I thought, I hope they haven't just eaten lunch.
Okay. Keith,
Yes.
it's your turn. You're going to talk about will new members enjoy? Or
New members enjoy.
is that you? Yes, that is you.
Yep, that's it. In our club, as you stated, we have saw an increase in membership. One of the things we saw, of course, before this, like everybody else, we saw new members come in and they leave. So I started asking them, why are you leaving? They said, I don't feel like I fit in. Come to a meeting, we meet on Tuesdays. I come to a meeting on Tuesday at lunch, the same 3 people speak to me. I sit at the same table, and I get up, walk back out. I don't have a clue what the club is doing. So, I guess the year I was president-elect, we decided, or maybe projects, and whoever brought them into the club would mentor them and help them grow and build. And what we're finding out is that's working very well to make people feel like they're a part of our club. Not only our club, but Rotary as a whole. We've got members that have been in it for years that still stand at the back of the room. They don't want to get involved, but we see where our newer members are starting to step up. Our current president is here today. He's been, you know, I say in and out of Rotary. He's been around Rotary for years. He's only been an actual club member, I think, 2 years. Our president-elect, he was a member of another club somewhere else, never served. He's our president-elect this year because we put him on the board and worked him through the channels. And we did, you know, when a new member comes in, we don't just put them out there on their own like y'all said. When I came into Rotary, I was like you. Had a text one Sunday that said, hey, come eat lunch with me Tuesday. I went and ate with the guy. He said, you want to join? Sure, I joined. A month later, he quit. So I'm in Rotary right by myself. So, you know, I could have very easily walked away, but I, you know, said, no, I want to find out what this is about. So I think if you take these new members, you may know them, you may not know them, but when they walk in that door, make a point to speak to them, talk to them, let them know what Rotary does. Include them in whatever functions you're doing. We make sure whatever event we have going on, whether it's we do the rodeo, we co-sponsor the rodeo with our Chamber of Commerce. We make sure we go ask those new members, would you sign up to work one night at the rodeo? And we don't put them out there by themselves. We put them at a table with what we call our older member, not age-wise, but a member that's been in there for years, and they get to hear them talk, and they get to talk to them about the Rotary Foundation, get to talk to them about the projects that Rotary is a part of. So that's what we have started doing. But I think it helped us when we started putting them, they made them feel like they were a part of it. You're not going to be in something if you don't feel like you're a part of it. That's pretty much what we did.
Okay. Questions for Keith?
3, I think, what our last membership was.
Keith, talk real quick, if you don't mind. share some experiences. Every potential member, is every person that comes to a meeting a potential or a Rotarian? Do you think, what's your experience with that? Is it a good fit? Is it not everybody joins?
Well, the way we did that was we actually, a couple of years ago, when all this kind of started, we sat down at a board meeting one day and we looked around like, most of our members are 75, 80 years old. They're leaving us. And we decided, okay, let's sit down and let's each one of us write down somebody's name that we know that's a business person or a leader in this community that would be a good fit for Rotary. That's where we started doing it. So, no, not everybody that came, it was a good fit for. I mean, either they knew it immediately or after a couple of meetings, but I don't think we ever got to the point that we had somebody turn an application that later on we went back and said, I don't think this is gonna work for you. But yeah, we have had people come to the meetings that walked away and I just don't think this is gonna work.
Okay.
Keith,
Yes, sir.
do you think somebody 75 or 80 years old feels like they don't have a place in the club?
I feel like they have at times, but we've had to try to get them, look, you're just as vital today as you was, because our problem is those gentlemen in our club are the charter members. And so they feel like, we've got it started, so then y'all carry it on. No, we need y'all to stay here and help us.
But why are they leaving? Why are those older?
Well, no, the ones that's leaving our club aren't leaving by their choice.
They died.
I'm not saying did the club kick them out, I'm saying.
Oh, why did they decide to exit?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they feel like the younger generation's coming in and maybe pushing them out. I don't know what they're thinking. Maybe too many changes, because we have changed things. One of the problems we faced at our club was, we had one of our gentlemen that he was adamant, we don't want to get over 30 members. We want to keep it as a 30-member or smaller club. Why? We're doing great things like this, we got other people who want to join.
I joined a larger club in Virginia, 150 members, in 1976. I was treasurer of the club for 16 years, and I'm president of this club in Georgia and Hawkinsville this year. I'm 82.
See?
Wow.
Wow.
You don't look 82.
We've had
That's
a
a number.
couple of older gentlemen that left the club and left the club, but it was because they moved to a different location.
Yeah.
And it was because they had gotten to the point in their life to where they had to move closer to their children. So that's why we left, we lost them, and they were probably 85 that.
An arm is very important. You are the first person that any member, not just new members or any new member or someone that's looking to join the club, have them write their name down and actually call them by that name. I found out that it's important to let them know what's going on. You're coming in, you sign your name, you can sit over here, we're gonna have lunch, and then we'll go into it. So if they know a little bit about what's going on, then they can feel a little bit more at ease. I always introduce them when they come in, if they're new, to somebody so they know who they're sitting next to, or usually if you feel like you know somebody, then you feel more relaxed. After the meeting, I always ask them how they feel. Do you think you're gonna come back? Or, just try to get a feel for them and then follow up. If it's not me, then it's our membership. It's the chair that will follow up with them. So someone is following up with them. So they're not just coming and don't hear from anybody. Ask them to do something. As the Sergeant at Arms, I'm in charge of, or asked to get someone to do the prayer, the forward test, and the Pledge of Allegiance. So it's something easy. So they come in, and our last one that was new. Hey, you want to do the Pledge of Allegiance? Everybody knows Pledge of Allegiance. And they felt like, oh wow, they asked me to do something. So they were really great to do that. New members, getting to know them. Maybe ask them what other organizations do they belong to, or do they have a project that's something that the Rotary can be a partner to. So find out what their interest is and see if it lines up with ours, and if we can accommodate them. We ask them to accommodate us. Is there something that we can do that they're already doing? Ask them if maybe they know other people. Hey, you join, you know somebody else you want to join with you. So maybe making a list or asking them to invite somebody to come back with them. Also, maybe they know family members. We talked about the family membership. hey, do your spouse may want to join, or we said a college son or daughter may want to come in. Getting on a committee, I think that red badge program was probably the best thing that I experienced when I walked in. You only had to do 10. I think I did all 20. It just gave me more tasks or more activity, get more involved and learn more about Rotary.
Karen, did you find it to be competitive? Didn't you kind of have?
Oh, yeah. So, but that wasn't the only reason why. But it did help because it was about 3 other, and some that had been there for probably a couple months or maybe 6 months that haven't even done 2 or 3 on their red badge, and to turn it full in was kind of accomplished. But someone's like, hey, how did you do it? And my person haven't done 3. But it just gave you a way to kind of navigate through the club and learn more. Plus a mentor, having somebody that they weren't assigned to me, but my sponsor, or just knowing that there was somebody there if you had a question, that you had somebody to go to. Or the sergeant at arms, don't know everything, I'm new too, but being someone there if they had a question, knowing that, hey, if you have a question, I'm the sergeant at arms, come, you can ask me, and then being there to help them out.
Is your job description for sergeant at arms part of your bylaws or anything?
Yes.
Yes,
It
it is,
is.
it is detailed in the bylaws.
Right. So when they come in, I'm the one to I remember their badge. That helps me to learn, that helps that person to learn. And that's also a task on the red badge. They have to be sergeant of arms one day. That's one of the tasks they have to get signed out. So that's a way for them to get to know. So that's one of the tasks, and I thought that was when I had to do it, because I didn't know you, so I had to ask you your name. Or I didn't know a lot of them, so I did have to ask them their name.
And how
find
big's
the
your
badge.
club?
55 right now.
And what club?
Hinesville.
Oh, y'all from Hinesville.
Yes, sir.
Well, actually, the middle one, Shannon.
It's announced on Facebook.
Okay. And Whitney. Whitney is with Metro Savannah, and she's going to talk about some of the things that she's doing with new membership, bringing them in and taking care of them. Thank you, Whitney.
Yeah. So, I wasn't assigned a specific topic, so y'all let me know if you want to hear about something specific. You may know that our club is unique because it was started as a pilot club, several years ago. So we recruited, I shouldn't say we, other Rotarians recruited a core group of relatively young members between 35 and 45 years of age to start a club. And I joined about 6 months after the club was chartered, so I had been a member for a long time. But because of that, you know, we were able to write bylaws and procedures that met our needs as a group of younger, up-and-coming Rotarians. So just real quick, we don't have a weekly program meeting. We only have 2 program meetings a month. We have 1 social a month that counts toward attendance, and at least 1 service project a month. So our socials certainly help engage members. Sometimes it's just a casual happy hour. Sometimes it's much more family-friendly, a field day or something more structured. And our fundraisers tend to be on the wild side and a lot of fun as well. So since kind of coming into this, our 6th year member survey actually let us know that our membership was happy with the size that we are. Right now we have almost 80 members. And so in response to that feedback from members, we did adopt a membership cap. So we'll never be more than 90 members unless our members decide to change that cap. But what that means is we have had to become much more intentional about membership and about recruitment. So our motto is cast a line, not a net, and think very carefully about whether or not our club's membership represents our entire community in terms of diversity and classification. So our new member process does include what y'all might call a red badge program, 90 days to complete various tasks to make sure that interested members know a lot about Rotary and know a lot about our club and our members. We ask each candidate to have 2 sponsors, not just 1, so that we're sure that they have a deeper connection to the club. And we ask that guests be invited by a current member, not just show up, so that we know they've got a connection to the club. And folks have to attend at least 3 meetings, including a service project, even to be considered to apply. Our orientation's pretty thorough, and then again, the 90-day new member program. And some of the things I think are good about that, you have to meet with the past president and have a conversation, and then also 5 other members, so you make sure you've got a team. We do offer a mentorship program for folks that are new. What else? I think everyone takes responsibility for ensuring that we're providing service to our members, and that we're intentional about keeping our members engaged. And certainly what we found is that those that we've lost were probably joining for the wrong reasons, for things like networking rather than being of service to the community, which is something that we really emphasize. We emphasize local service. We have an annual service partner every year that we commit to raising funds for and implementing some kind of project. And our most engaged members are there for that aspect of it. And of course the friendship, and we do have a lot of fun, but really do try to emphasize the Rotary ideals through everything that we do, so that we have Rotarians, not just members of Rotary. Anything y'all want specifically to hear about?
I'd love to hear about your fundraisers.
Yeah. So, for example, when the Savannah Bicycle Campaign was our annual service partner, our fundraiser included tri-school races and trying to push yourself in a wagon with toilet plungers and racing that way. And not only did you pay to attend that fundraiser and get a ridiculous amount of beer and food, but as part of it, you could buy nominations and nominate other people to ride tricycles in the races. So that was part of the fun. We've done things like riding mechanical bulls and that sort of thing, but our fundraisers can be a little dangerous, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it. But we've had video game competitions, which speaks to my generation.
Oh, wow.
Certainly, kind of a throwback to Nintendo and PlayStation. What else? We've had a live art auction, which maybe is a little more mainstream, that was very successful. So we try to always come up with something different and that's somewhat tailored to the service partner that we're raising funds for. We helped fund a mobile farmers market a few years ago, and that fundraiser was a food truck rodeo, because food trucks are new in Savannah.
Yeah.
So that one had carnival games, which of course raised a little money, but then the food rink aspect, we held it at a brewery.
I'll choose to answer, but 2 of you have mentioned the word leader. 1 of you has mentioned the word diversity. Do you consider the Walmart employee or the burger flipper from McDonald's as potential members for your clubs? You mentioned the word about leader, and you mentioned about specific professions. Why?
Well, I think that person, the person at the McDonald's or the Walmart employee, their leader in their aspect of what they're doing. You're not out here looking for just a certain person. You've got to be an attorney. You've got to be a insurance agent or whatever. Years ago, I was told that was the way Rotary was. You had to be a specific profession. But no, we don't. Our club don't look at it that way.
When I joined Rotary, there were classifications, and if that wasn't a classification open,
you didn't go.
You
was
couldn't get in Rotary,
Yeah.
Unless they found one for you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a comment that I went to Pat's, and one of our speakers was, I can't remember if he was the COO of Chick-fil-A. And he started out flipping chicken on the grill. And he was an hourly wage worker at Chick-fil-A. So just because you're flipping hamburgers at McDonald's does not mean you are not a leader.
I started reading meters at Georgia Power.
I rest my case.
Okay, one last comment.
Yeah, and we essentially did away with categories, and we have quite a cross section of backgrounds in our club. It's not important. at all. I had a question for Whitney. One meeting a month is service. Okay, now, that's problematic. I mean, if you've got 80 people, how are you gonna find a service project that 80 people could do one, evening or whatever a month?
So our attendance requirement is 50%. So not everyone comes to every meeting, and that was intentional.
40 people.
But we also typically offer more than one service opportunity a month. So if you're a
Do you do that in
member-
the same room? I mean, how does this work?
Well, it depends on the partner. So some, for example, if we're at Second Harvest loading bags at the local food bank, they can usually take 40 people
Mhm.
very easily, and they're set up for that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What are some others?
So we also serve breakfast often at the Emmaus House, which is, they can usually take about 10 people. Our service project attendance, our monthly service project attendance usually is around 10 or 12 people, not 40.
Because a group doing something together is a wonderful team builder.
Yeah.
People get to meet each other. It's actually a social experience too.
But we do, we built a community garden at a children's center, for example, and those projects